Hey everyone. So right at the gate, after Loki asked the question, we're all wondering. Shamrock basically flat out answers, "Yeah, the reason me and Shanks look so similar is because that nuisance is my estranged twin brother." And again, in retrospect, I really do appreciate how Elbaf has a lot of moments like this where it doesn't really beat around the bush and flat out tells us things we already know, while still adding a few curious flourishes as Shamrock also reveals to Loki that there was a point in time where Shanks actually returned to Marie Joie. So, yeah, a bit of a curious mystery there for later, but even more importantly in my mind, this moment of Loki threatening Shamrock, telling him he better hope he never gets free, because if he does, you know what will happen, is one of those lines where even though the core of the threat is more to do what happened to his friends, the amount of venom in his voice also shows the hatred runs a lot deeper than that. Like, without even needing to say anything outright, it is the most blatant tell that even if Loki did kill Harald, there was more going on there than what we saw, and the government was definitely pulling the strings that led to the king's death. Like, this isn't the first time the government has tried to lay claim to Elbath, for sure. Now, in saying that, the episode did something that really pissed me off, which is that when we cut back to Luffy's group, it teases us with the reveal of the Straw Hat Man, before cutting back to Frankie and Ripley. And this is, again, one of those things I hated just as much in the manga as I do here, for the simple fact that at the time, it felt like it was unnecessarily dragging its feet a little bit with the reveal of who this man is. Although I will say the fact that we didn't get a preview for the next episode is a sign of what's coming next episode. In saying that, it's not all bad, as the moment like plants the seeds in Luffy's mind that Shanks has secrets he's keeping to himself, secrets that, well, I'm sure has his reasons for keeping private. It definitely builds upon the idea that when Luffy and Shanks finally do reunite, it's not going to be the happy, fun time celebration we think it's going to be. There's going to be some friction all around, and there's definitely going to be a bit more, I think, a bit more of a serious atmosphere to basically the way that basically to basically the pretty much meeting itself overall. Like, it's like Shanks is going to be on business time, and Luffy is probably going to want to is just gonna want to be happy to see his friend again. But unfortunately, again, it's not gonna be that kind of meeting, unfortunately. And now, but okay, let's get to the big thing, which is that we get the reveal of the tapestry of the world's history carved in the Tree of Adam. And this is kind of a two-tier reveal, because on one hand, this is probably the most overt foreshadowing in terms of setting expectations for what we can expect from the scale of the Throne Wars, as yeah, it's pretty much exactly how you expect something like the Throne Wars to be. It's a giant fucking war that basically throws the entire world into chaos. But also with this reveal of Nika being the centerpiece of it all, when we get it's definitely showing that when we get to the big final battle, that again it'll not only be a war that truly plunges the whole world into absolute chaos, but it's also going to be a situation where no one is going to be safe from the wave that pulls everyone into it. Like, everyone from, like, in some way, in some form or another, it's going to be a war that not only pulls the like pirates and the government into it, but I think just average everyday citizens into the whole thing as well. Like everyone in the world is going to get thrown into this war in one form or another, and whether or not that they're pretty much prepared for basically what's to come is ultimately the answer. It's pretty much, it goes along with what Vegapunk had warned about, that basically the throne war is also going to be, that ultimately the world is going to get plunged into is going to get plunged deep beneath the ocean. That's what's likely to happen, and that in itself is kind of is along with the Throne War is one of those things where it's like, yeah, everyone is going to be involved, which again is something I think we already knew, but it really just shows, it's really like a depiction of what we can expect of the scale of the Throne Wars to be, and yeah, it's going to be intense for sure. Um, even more than the war that has come, however, this mural on top of the government's arrival on the island does also provide an interesting bit of insight that whether the Giants like it or not, Elbaf has already become the staging ground for basically for the Throne War that is to come. Like whether Elbaf is prepared for it or not is the ultimate question. And unfortunately, given the time they've spent trying to fill the dead King Harald's dream of peace, I think it's fair to say they're not ready for the looming storm over Elbaf. Like ultimately like this like Elbaf is about to become a battleground, and unfortunately, I don't think any of them are ready for it to come. Um, I also like One thing I also liked about this episode is Saul talking about the various descriptions there have been about Nika, and how with those various descriptions, it does imply that they might all be true in some form or another. That the being the god of dominion, the god of the god of freedom, the god of liberation, all these different the god of liberation, the god of destruction, the god of like all these different depictions might all in some way be true and tied to how be tied to Nika's role within the grander war, I think. Um, and on aside from that, all that though, on a small note, I will say I am growing more accustomed to Frankie's new voice. Don't get me wrong, I still prefer the old voice, but this one is kind of slowly growing on me. I wouldn't say it's again. I wouldn't say it's like. I wouldn't say that the new voice actor is like an amazing replacement, but it is definitely it is it is definitely the performance is getting a lot better than what my initial impressions had led me to believe. So yeah, I would still say I still prefer the old Frankie voice. I'm growing to like this one more too. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe if you want a Blue Sky, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to push the bell, hit the subscribe button, and share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of signing off. Later, everyone.